The Cincinnati Reds had a really good season in 2025, with them finally making the playoffs with this team, which I feel like was about to come at any point. Just didn't really expect it to happen this season. Let's take a look at the Reds' last 5 seasons. You can obviously see in 2021, they also had a pretty solid season, but just weren't able to make the postseason. And then same in 2023, I thought that's when they were really going to make the postseason in my opinion, but it really just didn't happen. They just lost too many games, and in the end, they weren't just good enough. And then in 2025, they actually got in from the Mets collapse, which is very funny to think about. Then I played in the Dodgers, unfortunately, in that wild card, and they kind of got destroyed, even though they put up a pretty decent fight against them. But definitely some impressive seasons from the Reds we've seen over the last couple of years, and we'll see if they can replicate that in 2026, which might be a hard thing to do. Let's take a look at the Reds contract situation, because their contracts are okay for the most part. Obviously, Ke'Bryan Hayes is still here for 4 more seasons. He also has that team option in 2030. The big piece, Hunter Green, is still here for 3 more seasons. He's also got that team option in 29. Jose Trevino is here for 2 more seasons. He's got a team option in 28. Pierce Johnson's here for 1 more season. He's got that mutual option in 27. And then Caleb Ferguson just signed a 1-year deal this offseason. So with JJ Bleday, and he's got some years of arbitration as well till he's a free agent. And then obviously they signed Pagan, which I thought was a really good signing. Does have a player option in 27. The only other player that isn't on here is going to be Killen Thompson, who was signed earlier on in the offseason. He signed a 1-year, $1.3 million contract. But besides for that, everyone else is on Baseball Reference, and everyone else is in arbitration on this team. So if we take a look at what they're going to spend in 2026, it's about 83.3 million. If we add in that 1.3 million, it's going to be around 85.6. So a decent amount of money spent for the Reds. If we take a look what they spent last year, it was around $135 million, being 24th in the MLB. So that's kind of where they stood last year. Once again, they should be somewhat similar to around there after the arbitration kicks in for everyone. We'll kind of wait and see. I don't think they're going to sign anyone else, to be honest. Even though there's still a lot of pitchers in the market, like I still think a lot of these bottom teams should definitely be looking at a 1-year deal with Verlander or Max Scherzer, because those names will bring fans to your stadium automatically. And also, they're not bad pitchers as well. So to me, it's kind of weird that those guys haven't been signed to one of the smaller market teams, unless they're just not hearing any of the offers. But I don't know, that's kind of weird. Let's take a look at the Reds roster as it stands right now, because this team is pretty solid to say the most part. I mean, let's start with this rotation. Hunter Green, Brady Singer, definitely a solid 1-2 punch. Chase Burns is obviously a very good pitcher. Andrew Abbott as well, so definitely a solid top 4. That's why I said if they could get a guy like a Justin Verlander or Max Scherzer on a 1-year deal, I feel like it could work for this team. That's a rotation. I like it a lot, and we'll kind of see what happens moving forward in the season, but Hunter Green definitely could be a Cy Young candidate for sure. Now let's take a look at this bullpen. Now this bullpen's pretty solid. I do like their bullpen a lot with Pagan. They got Lodoto in here, Johnson, Ferguson, Ashcraft. I think it's a pretty solid pen. And I do think these guys can compete at a high level. I mean, we kind of saw this a little bit in the postseason and the run up to the whole wild card situation. But yeah, definitely with this free agent talent, I definitely think they could be a solid pieces in this bullpen. Let's take a look at the starting 9. At the catcher position, I think they have 2 really solid catchers in Stephenson and Trevino. I think both of them could play, to be honest. I think they're both really good. My personal preference would probably be Stephenson, just because I feel like he works better with the pitchers. At first base, once again, 2 really good first basemen, but probably Spencer Steer if I had to guess. Then Matt McLain would probably play second base. Ke'Bryan Hayes would play third. Obviously, Ella De La Cruz would play shortstop. And then moving over on this outfield, once again, there's a ton of options they could choose for, but probably JJ Bleday, TJ Friedel, and Marte will probably be that starting outfield. And like I said, at the DH position, you could put either one of the catchers or the first basemen there, to be honest. I think they have a really good core. Even a player like Sal Stewart, he's obviously a really young talent, so definitely want to get him playing every day. Maybe a DH position, maybe at first base. We'll kind of wait and see. Like I said, these lineups are going to change at least 100 times during the season, so we'll see if I'm right on any of those. Now, where the Reds do thrive is they have 6 guys in the top 100, which is very impressive. So it might be a long one to get through, but let's start at number 31 with Sal Stewart. Obviously, he was drafted in 2022 with the Cincinnati Reds at pick 32, and he played really solid in the minor leagues. I mean, he got a 309 in 118 games at the AA and AAA level. Best minor league season he's had, and then he got called up to the major leagues, only played 18 games, better to 255. So he's definitely a young guy that I want to see playing every day for this Reds team, whether that's first base, second base, maybe at the DH position. He's definitely going to be a solid player, and he's definitely a guy I want to see moving forward with this Reds team. So definitely going to be a solid player. We'll see how he does in spring training and the breakout, but definitely a solid guy I want to see in the lineup. Now coming in at number 48 is going to be Alfred Dono. He was signed in 2023 by the Cincinnati Reds, and he was obviously signed at 18 years old, but he's played pretty solid throughout his minor leagues career so far. He didn't get the chance really to play many games in 23 and 24, but in 25, playing that full season, he batted a 287 27 at that high level. So definitely a very impressive season from him. But definitely excited to see where he's going in the future, because he's a catcher. His ETA is 2028, so he's got a lot of time to develop. So definitely could be a guy that they're looking at long term to kind of replace their catchers, because definitely looks like a good talent, and especially with the way he's hitting, I mean, could definitely be really solid. Would love to see him at the AA level in 2026. Now coming in number 76 is going to be Tyson Lewis. Now he was drafted in 2024 in the second round by the Cincinnati Reds. And in 2025, which was his first season, he played really solid. 311 batting average in 81 games. I mean, played extremely well in rookie ball, goes to the high level, plays extremely well as well. So definitely a solid season for him in 2025. Definitely excited to see him in 2026. Maybe he could start at that AA level. His ETA is 2028, so he's got a lot of time to develop as well. And he's a shortstop, so that's going to help his versatility a lot. But definitely could be a solid player in the future. We just kind of got to see more from him in 2026. Coming at number 79 is going to be Steele Hall. He was obviously drafted in 2025 in the first round at pick 9 by the Cincinnati Reds. And obviously, since he was drafted in that first round, he hasn't played a game of professional baseball yet, but already being up this high is pretty impressive as it stands. Obviously drafted out of high school, 18 years old. His ETA is 2029, so he's got a ton of time to develop in this Red system. And we'll kind of see how he does moving forward in his first season in 2026. Now coming at number 80 on the top 100 is going to be Rhett Lauer. Now this is an interesting story to say the least, because he did pitch in 2024 with the Cincinnati Reds, and he pitched really well. In 2025, he starts in the minor leagues and just doesn't have it once again. He only pitched 9.1 innings, and he had a 10 ERA, which is not looking good at all. And I imagine he got hurt because he only pitched 9 innings, which is not a lot at all, because in 2024, he pitched like 130, 140 innings. So it looks like he did get injured and was going through that whole process. So kind of sucks for him, because he was playing really solid with the Cincinnati Reds. And once again, we'll kind of see if he starts with this team in 2026, because in 2025, he did start in the minor leagues and he was going throughout the system, but honestly, he didn't really play well at all. He's definitely a question mark if he can make an impact in this season, but we'll kind of wait to see what happens in 2026. A little bit of an odd situation there. And coming at number 94 is going to be Cam Colder. Now he was drafted by the Cincinnati Reds in 2022 in the first round at pick 18. And in 2025, he had his best season in the minor leagues for sure. He played at rookie ball, played at high A, and played at AA. You kind of think for a first round pick, he'd be moving through the system a little bit faster, but it really doesn't seem the case, especially with him going down to rookie ball and then kind of making his way back up, since he's been playing full seasons throughout his whole minor league career. A little bit of a strange situation there. You normally don't see that when it comes to first round picks, but obviously played really well this season. Batted at 279 and played really well in rookie ball and high A, and then went a little bit down in that AA level. So we'll kind of see what happens with him. His ETA is 2027. Unless he flies through the system this year, I find it kind of unlikely he's going to hit that, to be honest. But we'll kind of see what happens with him moving forward. Very odd situation with some of these players as well. So those are the 6 guys the Cincinnati Reds have in the top 100. A lot of talent that they have coming through their system. And like I said, if these guys can make an impact on this team, they're definitely going to have a shot in this postseason. But with a lot of them being, ETAs in 27, 28, kind of find that unlikely. It's really going to be guys like Sal Stewart and Rhett Lowry that are going to make the biggest impact in 2026. But going over my prediction for this Cincinnati Reds team, like I said, the National League is very competitive this season. We look at the Braves, we look at the Mets, the Phillies being probably good this year. We look at the Central, right? The Cubs and Brewers are probably going to be pretty solid this year. And then with the West, you basically got all 4 teams except for the Rockies competing. So we say it every year, but it's going to be a hard time for the Reds to get in. But if those prospects do perform like they're supposed to, they have a good shot to be a competitive team this season. Like, I generally think they could really be a good team. I still think they're going to have to go through the wild card, in my personal opinion. I just don't think they're better than the Cubs or the Brewers. So the Reds are going to have to sneak in and win some critical series throughout the season, but we'll kind of see what happens. I think they can make the postseason if their prospects get called up and if they play well. But if they start to fall short, a lot of series and a lot of games, then it's just not going to happen in 2026. But let me know what you guys think about the Cincinnati Reds. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this team. With that being said, make sure you guys follow me on all my socials. Follow me on X for all of our updates. Follow me on Instagram for all of our clips. If you want to talk more, make sure you guys join the Discord server. And make sure you guys check out the merch. I was also updating the store today when I'm recording this video, so definitely go check out the new updates. And if you want to get a piece, definitely go check it out. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.